everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Downstream Outdoors. Today on Downstream Outdoors, we're going to start off with our featured product of the week. Our featured product of the week this week is our own Beach Corner brand of lip balms. Available in 4 wonderful flavors. They are available at places like Little Rock's Natural Remedies along Route 36 in Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania, and at Saxton Outdoor Supply along Route 26 in Saxton, Pennsylvania. And remember, all of our products are 100% natural. No artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in our products anytime, ever. And these are also available fully customizable with customizable labels for anybody who wants them for a special occasion. This week on Downstream Outdoors, we're back into the kitchen. That's right, we're doing more wild edible dishes here in the wintertime. This week, we're going to make a simple syrup using wild rose hips. Check it out. Okay folks, here we go. We're going to make this here rosehip syrup. These are wild rose hips that I gathered. They're best this time of season. In my personal preference is this time of season. After a freeze, they always seem like they're sweeter. I have about 1 cup of clean and sorted fresh rose hips, and in here I have about 8 cups of water. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pour our little rose hips in there, let them get nice and wet, and then we're going to turn this water on. We're going to put it on a medium heat. Because we want the flavor to come out of the rose hips and into the water, but we also want the water to be high enough that we actually steam some of the water off, because we're actually going to have less than 8 cups of our final product. So we're just going to let this get nice and hot and steep up. We're probably going to let this steep up for a while, maybe an hour or 2, and just get as much of the flavor out of them rose hips as possible, and then we'll check back with it. Okay, so our rose hip it has percolated down. You can see we got a nice dark tea color here. I've measured this out. This is about a gallon, not a gallon, it's kind of skinny gallon. It's a cup and a half of tea that we have here left. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make this into a simple syrup, and we do that on a 1-to-1 ratio. So I have a cup and a half of sugar that we're going to add right to it there. We got our heat on nice and low because we don't want to scorch it. Now we just got to get this sugar worked into our tea. Okay, so we got our sugar pretty well dissolved, and this is our simple syrup that we've made now, and we can use this in a variety of recipes. We can use it as a flavor additive to drinks. I know it's particularly favorite for certain cocktails, which we're not going to get into on here because I'm not much of a drinker myself, but you know, you could use this over top of pancakes if you wanted to. It's a little bit thin for pancakes. We could have cooked it a little bit longer and made it a little bit thicker if we wanted to. We could use it over just about anything. And maybe we'll find a nice recipe to use this in, and bring you a future episode of us using this in a recipe. But for the meantime, we're going to let this set out on the counter and come down to room temperature. And then once it's down to room temperature, we'll close it over and we'll stick it in the refrigerator, and it'll keep quite a while in the refrigerator just like that. Very high source of vitamin C. It's a great thing to have around. Well, there it was, everybody. Turned out really delicious. I love the flavor of rose hips, and this is really an exquisite way to showcase that flavor. And as soon as my youngest son tasted it, he said, I'm ready for some of that with pancakes on it. And I have to agree. It's definitely going to be a wonderful syrup to top just about anything with. So with that, until next time, keep your line wet and out of the trees.